Can You Relate with Kathy Dawson is presented by CK Media Productions.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kathy Dawson. Welcome to Can You Relate? This is a show all about relationships. You know, there are so many issues in relationships and so many kinds of relationships. There's in-laws and children and parents and friends and co-workers. I know you can relate to this. This show is here to help. Now, before I talk about the lineup for today's show, I want to show you something. This scarf that I'm wearing was made by a friend of mine. I don't know if the camera can get it, but she's a poet. And she takes her poetry and she puts pieces of it on a scarf like this. And this one says, "Cultivate Kindness." Now, the reason I'm wearing this is that in today's show, we're having Lady of the Wayside in, and they're all about acts of kindness, so I thought it would tie in. Another thing I want to tell you, a little story that actually happened to me last week. So I'm standing in Starbucks, okay? There are 5 people behind me, and I'm ordering my drink. And the guy behind the counter says to me, "Listen, the man before you who just left, he paid for you and everybody behind you." We were in shock, but that's just an example of an act of kindness. So we'll learn more about this later in the show. We're also going to have a woman on who's going to talk about 3 things that you can do to be a better mom. And we're going to have someone come on and talk about, God forbid, if something happens and a family member has an accident or a serious illness, how you can cope and take care of them and yourself. But first, we're going to have a fashion show to talk about how do you stay comfortable and still look good for your partner. So let's get started. So, are your sweatpants calling your name? Do you want to be comfortable? Picture this. You're a young mom. You're running your kids all over the place to soccer, baseball, whatever. You're on the floor playing Legos. You really need to feel comfortable. But in the back of your mind, you're thinking, you know, I kind of want to look nice for my partner. So we have a fashion show for you, and we have Erica here to help us, who's a fashion expert. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm very excited about this. We have several people who are going to be on, and they're going to be showing their outfits from Crocker Park. And our first model, hello, is Claire, and you're wearing something from Francesca's. So look at how cute this is. We've got a dark denim skinny jean with cowboy boots, just chime right in, whatever you think, and red-orange silky tunic top with an off-white cream blazer and a thick brown belt. Oh, I love that. What do you think?
First off, I like the boots. Boots and skinny jeans are so in right now. Everyone you see on the street, that's what they're wearing. So, I mean, right off the bat, you're a mom and you're hip, and your kids are going to think you're a really cool mom.
And okay, those skinny jeans are stretch, right? Mm-hmm. Because when you're a mom, you need, not all moms.
They're so comfortable.
Yes, they really give.
Yep.
Adorable. Okay, now, women are not the only ones who want comfortable clothes. We also have guys, and also another one. How cute is this outfit?
I like the long sweater. I think that's really popular now too. And the belt, that way it can kind of accentuate your waist and you can feel really sexy. It is. It's adorable. So
this is Rachel and Neil. Thank you for being here. Adorable. And now these clothes are from Buckle, which is at Crocker Park.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. And so now, Neil, you've got like a plaid V-neck top, slip-on shoes, and you've got jeans. Are you feeling comfortable?
Extremely
comfortable. Okay, good. You could get on the floor and play Legos with your kids, right?
Go ahead.
Okay, great.
But it still looks cool. I think that's the whole thing.
Yes.
Like, he's a cool dad, but you're not confined to like really tight or really, it's just uncomfortable clothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it looks
Thank
good.
you so much. So now we have one more comfortable couple. Their names are Angela and John, and their outfits are from Aeropostale. Now, Angela, you've got jeans and you've got the layered look, which is good for fall.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Woven top and a cami with a hoodie with the jacket open. And John, you've got jeans, a hoodie jacket, and an overall casual knit. Look at the two of you.
The first thing I think here is that you're just bumming around town, you know, you're not dressed up, but you still want to look good. Right there, that's it.
Yes, adorable. And look at the cute shoes this guy's got.
Yeah, flip-flops,
so
that's
cute.
totally comfortable, yeah. The little tennis shoes, that's so in right now too, I love it.
Right. So, if you want to be comfortable and still look good for your partner, you want to go to crockerpark.com and really get a feel for what they have to offer you. We'll be back.
Just ahead, we hope for the best and plan for the worst. What you and your family need to know if the unthinkable happens. And coming up, who's the boss in your home, you or your child? We'll reveal 3 secrets that will make you a better parent.
Craig and Mark Lindell and Grange Insurance understand that 1 minute you're out there living life to the fullest. The next thing you know, you've got sweeping changes to make and your family's future to think about. Talk to Lindell Insurance about how to save by putting all of your insurance with Grange, protecting your possessions and the ones you love. When things zig instead of zag, contact Lindell Insurance or visit their website.
Okay, so you have a family member, you might have a spouse who's got a lengthy illness, who maybe has had a serious accident, and they're in the hospital for a long time, well, a few days at least, but they need to have care, they need somebody to take care of them over a long period of time. We have somebody here who can help you. Peter Adamo, the Executive Director of Kindred Healthcare, is here. So I got to tell you, God forbid this happens, but if I have a family member or a spouse, they're in the hospital, am I like camping out in that waiting room?
That very well could be. You may be camping out in the room itself. We do everything we can to try to accommodate family members who are struggling with these sorts of difficulties. We realize that we're not getting folks at the beginning of their suffering. It's toward the end. And in many cases, families need to be nearby.
Okay, so I just want to make clear that first when this happens, people are often in a larger setting, like a larger hospital,
Yes,
but you're not a larger hospital.
Oh, we're small specialty hospitals. We have 2 facilities in Cleveland.
And what are you going to do to take care of my loved one? I mean, I really need to know the specifics, what kinds of the treatment or whatever you've got.
Well, let's first establish something. Our patients are awfully sick. When they get to us, they have probably been in what we call short-term acute care hospitals, locally places like the Cleveland Clinic and the UH health systems. They suffer from a series of maladies. Many of them may be dependent upon artificial breathing, ventilator dependence. They may have difficulties with major organ systems. Because they're bedridden, difficulties sometimes arise with their skin, and wounds are a big deal. And once those wounds begin to fester, infections tend to be the next thing that happens. So our job is to go in and rescue those situations and do what we can to clear the wounds, get them off of their ventilators. But at the same time, you're dealing with a lot of emotion here, and I would say that just as important as the clinical interventions are, so are the psychological interventions for not only the patient, the extended patient, which includes the family and loved ones, as well as the staff and the physicians treating them.
You know, I went on your website and you have a video of a real-life story that happened, a man on a farm that got run over by a tractor.
Yes.
And like he broke like a zillion ribs and he had to be on a ventilator, and you have this video going on with him looking normal after having been with Kindred Healthcare.
Exactly.
And his wife also felt like she got taken care of as well.
Exactly.
So.
You know, she was probably more of an advocate for us than he may have been.
Right.
And I think it's sometimes more difficult to watch someone else in a hospital bed than it is to lie there yourself.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yes.
I mean, it's got to be really hard.
Yes, it is.
So just to recap, what I'm getting here is that you're getting really personal care at this facility. And there's one in Fairhill, right?
Exactly, one in Fairhill, and then we occupy the entire 7th floor at St. Vincent's Charity Hospital.
And that's the East 22nd location?
Exactly.
But aren't you also around the country? You guys have
Oh, yes. Kindred is a rather large company. We have 50,000 employees, do business in 40 different states. At present, we have 83 long-term acute care hospitals and over 250 nursing homes.
Okay. So hopefully you're not going to need this situation, but if you do, you want to get a hold of Kindred Healthcare, and you can call them at 983-8030 or log on to kindredcleveland.com, and they will be there for you. Thank you for being here. You're a good service to the community.
Thank you.
Okay.
Being clear about what is acceptable to you and what isn't is an important part of a healthy relationship. So, how good are you at setting boundaries? Come on, take our test. Your sister-in-law asks you to make 3 side dishes for a holiday dinner and you only have time to make 1. Do you A, stay up 2 hours past your bedtime to make all 3 side dishes, or B, tell your sister-in-law you only have time to make 1 side dish? 2. You're going to a party with a friend who is habitually late. Do you A, wait for your friend no matter how late your friend arrives, or B, tell your friend ahead of time that if he or she is late, that you will meet him or her at the party? 3. You're working on a project and are under a deadline. A coworker comes up to your desk and asks you to help him with his project. Do you A, stop what you're doing and help your coworker, or B, say that you can help him, but it would have to be later in the day when you have time?
You know, if you answered A instead of B to these questions, there's a good chance that you need some help in setting boundaries. Now, setting boundaries, as I said before, relationships are all about boundaries. Setting boundaries doesn't have to be absolutely not, no, I'm not doing it. It's really about crafting the boundaries, saying, you know, I'm not able to do it right now, but I can do it at this point. Or I can't do it in this way, but I'm happy to do it this way. So the goal is to have a balance, to be able to give, because giving is joyful. But be careful not to give to the point where you're so empty that you have nothing left to give. All right, so we'll be up next with our next guest, which is Patrice Blakemore.
Up next, there's no manual for being a mom, but we'll share a few lessons to help you manage motherhood and enjoy it. And later, it can be a challenge to be a good neighbor, particularly when you have special challenges of your own. We'll meet a group that makes lots of special people feel right at home.